Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and this reading is for Tuesday, December 1st. Wow, a whole new month. Okay, so my intention is to tap into the cosmic laws of truth and love and see what it is that we most need to know in order to heal our souls and evolve on this day. And also for this reading to be a bit timeless so that it's not just limited, of course, to this one day. So, okay, so we have the Seven of Cups, and then our theme for the day is the Ace of Cups reversed and the Queen of Wands. Okay, so with the Ace of Cups reversed in the middle, or as the theme, there's some closing down of the heart for some reason. So I would imagine that there's just basic, your everyday, basic, simple fear of getting hurt. And it may have been because there was some, like a lack of connection that has happened before in our choices in relationships. So, it's one of those things where the way it works is that sometimes when we're trying to connect with people, their hearts just aren't open. And then in other days, they are. It's normal. It's a very normal thing. But if you're sensing a pattern in your life where you just can't seem to connect, and you're doing your best to make yourself understood, and you're doing your best, at revealing who you truly are, with all your open-hearted loving and giving. If you've been that way in the past, but now there's some new choices for relationships that can really meet you in the magnificence of your heart. Because when the Ace of Cups is straight up, the key meanings are just having, an amazing abundance of, happiness and joy coming through. Sometimes, like if you're doing a reading for a relationship and you get this card straight up, this can be, like a true, clear heart. It has everything to do with, being very contented and peaceful, and also very spiritual, spiritually open, where our intuition flows, because this is where our intuition is. You don't have intuition and psychic abilities without having an open heart. That's just the way it works. But most of all, you love feeling love, because it's who we truly are. Every time we're in a love state or we open our hearts to love, we're opening to who we truly are deep down inside the nucleus of every cell in our bodies. It's the forces of love that makes the grass grow and the birds sing and the sun shine. It's everything. But sometimes people aren't able to open up to their love, and that is just because of some basic fear. There's some fear of rejection, so we move through life making choices to stay safe, but of course it's not real safety, because you're never going to get that open-hearted, loving connection that you truly deserve and that you want until you can just clear out the cobwebs around your own heart. And of course, like I said, the opposite of love is fear, right? And hate is in there as well. But the fear is kind of underneath the hate, and the fear is there because we're afraid of being seen as hateful, or, well, actually, more likely, There's the fear that the hate's going to come back to us, because on a deeper, higher self level, we truly know that whatever we put out there is what we get back. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to go around, like with when they say like the rose-colored glasses and oh la da da, everything's love and everything's perfect. Well, it is on the deeper levels and who we truly are, and it is in the spiritual realm from which we hail, but that's not the way it is here on earth. On earth, we are in this dualistic paradigm where it's not always loving. But when it's not always loving for us, we can make a better choice. The Seven of Cups is all about those choices, letting your emotional body flow through you. I mean, look at all the water. We've got the ocean, the river. I imagine we're really at the beach here, actually. But that deciding on which ways do you feel loved? What is it that makes you feel loved? So let's say this is a relationship. And let's say you haven't felt loved, but you also, or haven't felt loved completely. And also you feel your heart shutting down because maybe you've opened up to a person, or maybe you've been with a person for years and they've been making bad choices. And every time they've done that, it's broken your heart a little bit more and more and more. Well, if that's the case, then this is where the Queen of Wands will come in and give us that self-confidence to know that we deserve better, and then we can start speaking up. We can open our hearts. We can, turn this right side up and open our hearts to ourselves and let them know how, let that relationship, let that person know how you're feeling unloved and what's happening. And then see how it goes. See what new choices they make from there. Do they choose to try and meet you where you deserve to be met in your love? And do you open your heart to try and meet them? Does this exchange of heartfelt energy open up in ways that creates more intimacy, of course, because that's what everybody wants. And I'm not talking about just sexual. I'm talking about real, true intimacy where you share your fears, you share your hopes and your dreams and your wishes, and you're both on the same page. Not meaning that you have the same dreams and but deep down inside, you honor the relationship. The man wants to protect and the woman wants to hold space for the relationship. But then they're both, we're both, or whoever you're in a relationship with doesn't have to be male female. It can be male or female. That doesn't matter. I don't care about gender here. I'm speaking to partnerships where both parties are independent. They have their own independent self. Just your own inner authority, which is what the Queen of Wands is all about. And that place where you know that you can create anything just about anything within reason on earth. And you're always going to be like on the leading edge of evolution through your relationship. So to the degree that we can open up and share our hearts, to that degree the relationship will grow. And so there's this need for independence in that, we're tuning into our vocation and we're working to develop that, whatever it is, and it can change over time. But then there's this relationship that's always there that has to do with working towards being with people who can really receive you. Because when this card is reversed, it can be, the old, like unrequited love, or love that has been lost in the past and now you're trying to make a better decision. And the key to getting there is to have more self-confidence, to work on your self-confidence. And you work on your self-confidence truly by all all those means where we follow our passion. You can see all the passionate energy in this card. And again, like I said, by being very, very independent, and I'm speaking to, some of the key meanings here with the Queen of Wands, but also being more outgoing. She's very outgoing. She doesn't hold back. And she's pretty optimistic as well. She sometimes brings in just a lot of strong energy, and she might be kind of hard to keep up with if this is a person in your life. And maybe it was too much energy at once and it scared you a little bit, and then you decided to close your heart because you're not sure if you can match her. Like, what if this is one of those situations where you close your heart in fear because you're afraid you're not good enough for her, whether this is a friend or a love relationship or whatever. What if that happened? Well, all you have to do is let this person know that you're working through something. All we ever have to do is open up the channels of communication and get that flow going. And whether or not this person or these people that we choose to be in relationship with, whether or not they take us in and receive us, whether or not they are interested in hearing about what's going on, or being in connection, basically. Whether they want to connect with us or not, that actually doesn't matter. What matters is that we take the initiative to make ourselves understood in the best way possible. To search for the right words, to fumble, allow yourself to fumble, allow yourself to do everything you can to get your heart open, so that you can get through this time of emotional instability, if that's what was happening. And so if you're always going to, make the choice always to get in touch with your feelings, let them flow, and then to tap into the courage that it takes to say, okay, I'm feeling misunderstood, or I don't think I'm making myself understood correctly. Can we try this again? Or whatever it is that you need to say. Sometimes it can just be something very simple like, we chose to get together, and when we got together, I felt like your heart was closed down, and I asked you, I had the courage to speak up and ask you what's going on, but you chose to go the other way, and now I'm feeling just, pretty flat, don't know what to do. It's like, okay, you can be that way, but that's not going to get us anywhere. Or it can be one of those situations where you're shutting down and you don't know why. And you just need to tune into your feelings and figure out what's going on. Am I afraid to have this much courage? Am I in my wounding with my mother, who was maybe a little overbearing, that says, just do it, things like that? Or a mother who was a little too pushy in any other way? Or maybe we had a father who chose to go the other way when we had feelings that we brought to him, and he didn't hold space for feelings. In fact, he shut you down. He said, no, your feelings don't matter there. Just do what I told you to do. I don't care how you feel. What if it was something like that? That would stay with you in your heart. And then when you're coming into connection with somebody who has a powerful, open, loving heart and is very optimistic in their love, you might shut down just because that's a pattern in you that is coming up for healing, which is the key element I'm seeing here that I really want to focus on, in that your heart is the center in your body that can help you heal everything. This is, when the Ace of Cups is upright, it's just a brand new beginning. And it has everything to do with celebrating your love and choosing to not reject yourself when your love is coming through. When you're with somebody or with others in a group or just another person or whomever, and love is coming up for you, trust those spontaneous, real feelings and let them flow. You don't have to know exactly what to do with them other than to just love. And then that creates, this cardinal energy, this fire and water is very steamy and very productive, to say the least. But it does require communication. Now, we don't have any cards in here we don't have any swords, or we don't have any pentacles. The swords can be all about communication. So I feel like the message is about just communicating through your heart. And sometimes it doesn't mean words. It just means taking the intention to open your heart and be optimistic in your love. And then, if there were pentacles, I would say, it's about doing something. But even though I spoke a lot about communicating from the heart, I think one of the deeper messages here is that our hearts are always communicating. In all ways, like always communicating in all ways. Because our heart center is the most magnetic force in the universe. And we get to choose how to use it most of the time, and then other times we have no control over who we love or what we love. So to just have that self-confidence to go with your heart and what you love and who you love. And then you can make the choices later on if, just in case, if it wasn't the right choice. But I don't see anything here about this being, any wrong choice to worry about, because this card did not come through reversed. So I think the only thing we had reversed here was this. So I think that the real challenge here is just to get over any pain or feeling, empty or a bad breakup maybe, and just allow your heart to flow. Being patient and being calm is always like the best way to go whenever there's any type of instability. When painful feelings of the past are coming up, you can still choose. You can still always choose to keep your heart open and to love yourself through it. So with that, the sacred chopstick and the cherished chopstick have spoken. Thank you so much to Carol Garland for the sacred chopstick, and to Greg Oreo for the cherished chopstick. I love them both. Thanks, you guys. And thanks everyone for listening. Okay, take care. Bye.